My Heroic Imagination Presentation by Abby Yandrich. What does having heroism mean to me? Of course, there are many different acts and definitions of heroism in the world, but when I think about one that sticks out to me, it is this. Having heroism to me means doing the unthinkable, doing the impossible, doing something you don't think you could ever in your life imagine going through and doing. To me, it means not thinking about yourself once it comes to the life or well-being of another. Who did I choose to represent my definition of heroism? My dad. And yes, I saw in the syllabus where it said that I can't use my parents, but I think you're going to want to hear why my dad is part of heroism. You might be asking, why did I choose my dad? My dad isn't only a hero to me, but a hero to others. Yes, he has shaped me into who I am, been an amazing dad, taught me the world of soccer, and made me into a great athlete, but he's done more than that. My dad is a police officer for the CPD. He's a patrol officer who has been on the Department of CPD for 24 years and 7 months. He's completed many duties in this career that have shown to me just how he represents heroism. Here are two of his many special accommodations that he has received. This right here is the first aid life-saving presented to Officer Daniel Yandrich, my dad. On March 25, 2020, officers were dispatched to an apartment on Holt Avenue on a report that a child was found under the water in the bathtub. First responding officers located a 2-year-old male lying on a bed unresponsive. Officer Yandrich checked for a pulse and immediately started chest compressions. Officer Schwidman arrived and took over chest compressions while Officer Yandrich gave the child breaths. Officer Schwidman and Yandrich continued giving CPR measures until CPD fire personnel arrived and took over. The child was immediately transported to the hospital in critical condition. Unfortunately, the child was later pronounced deceased. It was later determined the child had also sustained numerous broken bones and bruises and had not drowned. Officer Daniel Yandrich is awarded a first aid/life-saving award for taking action to save or attempt to save the life of another. His actions reflect positively on him in the Columbus Division of Police. After my dad texted this to me, he wrote this. Many cops just see ourselves as doing our job. That's what we are trained for. When I think about the child one, it makes me cry. It's a tough job at times, lots of emotions and adrenaline, but someone has to do it and it is exciting. But I don't care about the excitement anymore. My dad said he doesn't care about the excitement anymore because over the past few years, Columbus Police Division has gotten really stressful. Ever since COVID, it has just gone downhill. Here's the second one. On July 21, 2020, officers were staged at a location on Ballou Road to back up Franklin County Sheriff's Office SWAT team if needed. The unit was serving a probate order on a female who had proclaimed herself a sovereign citizen and had a history of violence toward law enforcement officers. As the SWAT team attempted to serve the order, the female fired numerous shots at the entry team. Columbus officers immediately positioned themselves to assist. Officer Daniel Yandrich, a rifle operator, moved towards the south side of the scene to deploy his rifle. The SWAT members immediately waved at Yandrich to bring his cruiser to where they were, which was in direct line of fire from the house. Yandrich, putting himself in a position of grave danger, assisted the team in dragging a wounded deputy into his cruiser. He then drove from the hot zone and took the wounded deputy to a waiting medic outside of the shooting scene several blocks away. The deputy was transported by Columbus Division of Fire personnel medic to the hospital with a gunshot wound to his abdomen. Both deputies survived surgery and are alive today, due in part of the courageous actions of Officer Yandrich, Hobson, and Yop. Lieutenant Raven, the ranking supervisor of the Franklin County SWAT team at the scene, stated, all 3 officers were instrumental in removing the injured deputies that day, while being in the direct line of fire of the target house. Lieutenant Raven was very thankful for the officers' brave actions. Officer Daniel Yandrich is awarded a Distinguished Service Medal for his quick actions under complicated conditions and performing an act in the line of duty to rescue an individual at a risk of personal harm. His actions are in the highest tradition of law enforcement professionalism and reflect positively on him in the Columbus Division of Police. Now, these 2 that I just showed were many. My dad probably sent me 9 others, and there were way more other than that. And just reading these things makes me so proud and happy of him, and I think it's really cool that he's done all these things. This right here is the logo for CPD. We have the mission and the vision on the left and right. I believe that even if my dad had not gotten so many of these special accommodations and rewards, that I would still consider him my hero, the community's hero, and a prime example of someone who shows heroism. Just by putting on his boots, uniform, and badge and stepping out onto the streets of Columbus at 6 a.m., he is performing to protect you, your loved ones, and your community, and I'm proud of him for that.